Hey friends, it's Lisa. Welcome and thank you for watching another one of my videos. Long time no see. So today I am doing a video where I am looking at my eyeshadow collection as of January 2026. I have a lot here, and these are just my palettes. This does not count single shadows. It doesn't count shadow sticks, liquid shadows. Those are all elsewhere. But these are my palettes. And it's a lot. And my problem is I love eyeshadow and I want more. But really, when I have all of these palettes, I also probably have every single shade of eyeshadow that I personally would ever need. So I don't want to go through my palettes. And I also started this thing in my head going into the year where I'm doing mental tokens of for everything that I either use up or declutter, I get a token and then I can buy something else. So I want to make sure that I'm sort of having an equal balance, and I'm also allowing myself one token per month where I can just buy something if I want to, because this collection is out of control and I'm just a regular makeup enthusiast. I am not a professional makeup artist. I don't do makeup on other people. I am just one person who is easily influenced by social media. So I guess I will go through this right now. And so right before I start, I just want to say I haven't posted a video in a while for a few reasons. One, just wasn't in the mood. Two, I had to get a new computer. I was part of the Windows, like, oh my gosh, your computer is gonna have no protection after October of 2025. So I made the switch from Windows PC to Mac. I've actually had a Mac before, but I had to like relearn everything about a Mac computer. And so I haven't actually like edited or done anything. So if this video makes it to my YouTube channel, that means I've learned the ways. So anyway, I guess we will start with something that I think I'm going to declutter. This is the Festy Bestie palette from LA Girl, and it's okay. I had it for a while, but I just never reach for it. So I actually think I'm going to declutter this palette, which means I get a token. Another palette I think I'm going to declutter is this Profusion Nudes palette. So this is actually a really great formula for the price. This is available at Walmart or drugstores or through their website. And I think this is really nice if you just want some warm tones. And it's just a basic palette. I like it, but I feel like I have these shades in other palettes and I never reach for this one. So I'm going to declutter it. Another token. I have two more Profusion here, and I wanted these palettes so bad back in the time. This is the Profusion Harvest palette, and this is the Profusion Ethereal palette. And these were great palettes. I waited over a year before I bought these off of the Profusion website because I kept trying to find them either at Walmart or the drugstore. And then I finally couldn't find them, and I ended up buying them off of the Profusion website. You can still buy them from the Profusion website. They're still available, but I don't reach for them. And so I think I'm actually going to declutter these both, which means I get 2 more tokens. Okay, now we're getting into like, this is really hard, and I don't know if I'm going to declutter anything else, but we will see. First, I have some Blend Bunnies. I have the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. This is a beautiful neutral palette. Lots of gradients of the shades. We've got shimmers. We've got mattes. I enjoy this palette. I haven't used it in a while, but I don't want to declutter it, so I'm going to keep it. And then this is the Blends. This is just everything you ever need if you want a matte shade of one of the rainbow shades. So I'm going to keep this. And then I also have, if I reach over here, I have the Sickly Sweet palette. This is a pastel palette, mixture of mattes and shimmers. And this was the first palette that the brand made where they didn't do gradients. They just mixed all the colors up into a different color story, and it kind of was shocking for the brand. So I really enjoy this because I love a good pastel. I'm going to keep it. Okay, so next I have, this is the MAC 40 Shades of Pride palette. This came out in June of 2024, and it was $150 with 100% of that money going to Viva Glam, which is the MAC foundation that helps with AIDS research. And it's this beautiful rainbow. And it also comes with a little clear cellophane that gives you all the names. And then also the names are on the back. And it's this puffy packaging, but it's basically all of the colors that represent the LGBTQ plus community. So I was happy to give my money to MAC for this great cause and get this eyeshadow palette at the same time. All right, I also have one of my bigger palettes here is from P. Louise. This is the Watch the Queen Conquer palette. So it actually folds out into a chessboard if you want it to play chess. And it has two sides. It has this pinky purple side, and the side I've used more often is this grungy yellow, orangey, greeny brown side. And so I haven't used this in a while, but I enjoy it for the novelty of it. So I am keeping this. All right, so I have quite a few ColourPops. So I have a bunch of their big palettes. The Smoking Hot, which is if you ever want a warm tone shade, you're going to get it here. It's a Mood, which is more of these, I would call them muted colors, but, you know, darker but muted colors. I haven't really used this one much. And another one I haven't used a lot is the Play It Jewel. I mean, it is, I have used some of it, but these are more richer jewel tones, as the title of the name of the palette would suggest. The Aurora Struck, I love this palette. It is a, you know, pastel, wintry dream with some darker shades, kind of giving you the Northern Lights, and I'm here for it. Cold Stone Fox, which is my most used palette in my collection. Quarry Days, that one that I fit pan on, my most used shade. It's dirty because she gets used. And so I really like this palette. Your Golden, more golden tones. I don't really gravitate towards this one. And then here's another matte rainbow palette. So I like this one a lot because this also has different gradients of colors from the Blends palette. So between the Blends and this Mad About Hue palette, I pretty much never need a rainbow palette ever again in my life. I have 3 Natasha Denonas. So I have this mini of the mini retro palette. I actually really enjoy this palette. I've made a look before with all 5 shades, and I don't know, there's just something about it and the color story and everything that I really enjoy, so I'm going to keep this. So here's where it's tough for me, because I have both the I Need a Nude and the Yucca palette. And I bought this with my Ulta points, so I didn't pay anything for this one. I mean, I did buy this one with money. I just don't get the hype. It's weird. Like, there are people that will ride and die for Natasha Denona brand eyeshadows. And this one, we had, what's the shade? The shade Fushi here, like, panned almost immediately. Or not panned, hard panned. And I think I have other eyeshadows that I like better for this type of color story. And then I Need a Nude. It's pretty, but I'm just not feeling it. Like, it is very pretty, So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to keep I Need a Nude just in case, but I'm actually going to declutter my Yucca palette. I think I have this color story in other brand palettes that I gravitate more than this. So I did not think I was going to do it, but I think I'm just going to declutter this palette. I have 3 more ColourPop palettes. These are all, or excuse me, 4 more. These are all IP related palettes. So first we have the Winnie the Pooh Sweet as Can Be. This one's a really nice, soft, I think for spring type of color story. I personally love that they have hexagons. I love hexagons as a shape. So I don't use this often, but I am going to keep it for now. Shrek ColourPop collaboration came out, I believe, fall of 2025. I don't really care about the Shrek movies, but I loved this color story. It was so good, and I have worn it a couple times. I'm very happy with it. So now we have the the New Moon and Twilight palettes. So these palettes are from the movie Twilight, which was big when I was younger. And it was like, are you Team Jacob? Are you Team Edward? I was kind of team neither. I was kind of like, these movies are just a cultural phenomenon that I'm happy to be a part of with my friends. And I read all the books, but I wasn't necessarily like either one because I kind of think the story sucks. But that being said, I respect and I think the feelings of those who are either Team Jacob and Team Edward are valid. So anyway, Twilight is this really nice cool tone color story, and New Moon is a warm toned palette. And I actually really enjoy these shadows a lot. And just before, and by just before, within like the last week of since before I started filming, ColourPop has released the Eclipse palette, which is like very smoky and dark. And there's a part of me that wants to buy it because I guess the collector in me is like, well, we might as well just go ahead and collect them all. So I have not bought it yet, and it would be part of my tokens, but I do have the 2 older releases so far. I have quite a few shadow palettes here from Beauty Bay, which is an English brand. So I have 3 of their limited edition special palettes. I have Daydreamer, which is this really nice, lighter toned, probably a spring type of palette. I have Desert Haze, which, you know, giving you those warmer, summery tones if you need them. And then Celestial Charms, more jewel tone, more rich, colorful. I think of this as like a winter palette. I also have some of their 16 pan palettes. So I have the Smoky. It looks boring because you're like, oh my gosh, it's silver, white, and black. But there are some gradients of mattes and shimmers. And basically, if you want a smoky eye, this is the palette that's going to give it to you. The Nude palette. All of these nude tones. The Neutral palette. All of the neutral colors. And Rich. So these are more of these berry tones that are going to give you the rich color. I have 2 palettes here from Artitude Cosmetics. I have the Vintage Neutrals, which these are more, I wouldn't necessarily if these are neutrals, but more like pops of color, springtime colors. And then you have this more cooler toned urban neutrals. The whites are not white. They're actually just foam disc over some of the shimmers. I haven't really used these a lot, and so I'm not going to declutter them. I just don't gravitate towards them, but I really should start to use them, but I'm not going to declutter them. I have one Adept Cosmetics palette, and this is the Flying Fiddles I love the packaging just because it's fun. It's lace on top of, I guess, cardboard. So it feels fancy. Here's the thing. I was totally influenced by influencers to get this palette. And then I got it. And it doesn't do anything for me. It's not something I gravitate towards. And the few times that I have used it, I've just been meh. Also, there are 4 mattes and the rest are shimmers, but I don't know. It's one of those palettes, like, it's hard to do like a full look out of this one palette. So I'm gonna do something crazy and I'm gonna declutter it. So now I have my Simply Posh palettes, and these are all in their sleeves. So let me go ahead and get them out of their sleeves. First, we have the Down to Earth palette. Again, they all have, a lot of them have these foam things on them to protect the shimmers. But this one is more of a earthy tone, hence Down to Earth. This one is Snow Angel. And this one is more of that celestial northern lights type of wintry palette. I really enjoy this. Okay, Cozy Cabin. They originally came out of this like Cozy Cabin. There was like a Christmas edition, and I didn't get it then. And then they relaunched it as just Cozy Cabin. And the irony is they decided that they were going to send all of the shimmers that go into these palettes. So I'll back up. The way Simply Posh does their shadow palettes is that they have 3 rows. The top and the bottom row are usually mattes, and the middle row is your shimmers. And so they said, oh, we got a lot of feedback that our shimmers are breaking in shipping. So they said, we're going to change up how we're doing it, and we're going to individually send the shimmers wrapped. And then you can unwrap them and put them in your palette, and that will prevent them from breaking. I was like, this is cool, whatever. Well, I got my Cozy Cabin, and the shade that I wanted the most out of this whole entire palette, Warmth, came absolutely just destroyed. And it's a bummer because I honestly was the most hyped out of this whole palette for that Warmth color. So I've kept it, and I gingerly use it if I use it at all, but like kind of bummed about that. We have Coastal, which is kind of like the older sister to Down to Earth. This came out first, and this is like a little more muted, but really pretty. We have Citrus Punch, which honestly, this was the first one I got from them, and I love this palette, and I've used this so much. And you think, oh my gosh, they're such bright, aggressive tones. I don't care. I love this palette so much. It's so much fun, especially in the summer. So, totally enjoy this palette. And I know I said Snow Angel was a Northern Lights, but then they actually have the actual Aurora Lights. And this is going to give you a little more darker shades of those wintry tones. And the one thing I will say about Simply Posh Cosmetics is that these are one of the few brands whose shadows do not crease on me. Even though I wear shadow primer, a lot of these shadows will crease. Not Simply Posh. Their formula stays pretty crisp on my eyes, and I appreciate that. I have some random one-offs. So I have this Tartlet from Tartlet in Full Bloom. And this palette is, you know, it's not really like exciting. Oops. It's not really exciting in terms of the color story, but I actually really enjoy this palette, and it's great for like work-friendly looks. So I keep it. It has survived. And then I have my one and only Mothership palette. So this is Mothership 7 from Pat McGrath. This is the Divine Rose, the first one. Okay, something weird about me, and maybe this is weird, maybe it's not, is I never take off the plastic that comes on things. Like, I realize when I start looking at things, like if it has this plastic sheet, I like hardly ever take it off. I just don't. So that's what that is. It's a plastic sheet that comes on it. I just haven't taken it off. And this one I also bought with Ulta points, because this is very expensive. This is, you know, before they changed the formula. I had to stop and pause there for a second, so I forgot what I was saying. But basically, I bought this with my Ulta points. This is before they went ahead and they changed their formulas. So this is my one and only true mothership, but it's really pretty. It's really pretty. And so I am happy that I was able to get this and treat myself. Here's a bunch of other one-offs. So I have the Too Faced Apple and Love palette. I really enjoy this one. Oh, I also bought this with Ulta points, but I really enjoy this one. It's just a fun color story. And I love the Too Faced, like the metal palettes. This one does have a sweet smell. It's supposed to smell like apples, but it's pretty. I have an Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Nouveau palette. Totally captivated and influenced by people for that pink shade. But I mean, this shade is just like a nice neutral palette, so it's fine. This is the Night Flower palette from Lethal Cosmetics. It's okay. It's fine. It's good. I like it. I just don't wear it a lot. But I do like the fact that you can pop these all out. I'm going to keep these for now. This is a 6-pan where I picked out the 6 shades and then I popped them in a thing, in a holder here. So I picked out those shades. So yeah, these are my Lethal. I have one Sigma palette. This is for the Quarter Rosa palette. I wanted this palette for over a year before I bought it, although I never use it. I never use it. So, okay. Do I do the thing? Do I do the thing? No, I'm not yet. Not yet. I'm going to keep it for now. This palette is the Lancome Adult Cafe Crush palette. I keep it in the box because I like seeing the shade names. But this came out in 2025, and I don't know why, but this palette had a hold on me with the layout and the colors. And even though I have a lot of indie shadows, there's just something about this palette that I was like, I need this palette in my collection. And so I went and I got it. And it is pretty. It's very neutral, very soft. But I do enjoy it. But it's not for everybody. But I guess you could say, like, not all of these are for everybody. So I have 2 of the Hung Van Gogh palettes that recently came out towards the second half of 2025. I have Outstanding Orange because I love an orange eyeshadow. And the new Neutral, which is a true neutral eyeshadow. So there's part of me that wants all of them, but they're also ridiculously expensive. So, you know, that's not going to happen. This is the 12th Hour stack from Melt. And so basically it is a vertical eyeshadow palette with magnetic pans. And so each pan has usually like a shimmer and a matte. You can stack them however you want, but I just picked this up. It's pretty nice. I had to move down further down my bed. So I brought over my Morphe. So these are the 6-pan Morphe palettes that they came out with. They're nice. I think they're like 12 bucks a piece, but you can get them at Ulta and they constantly have sales, but they're very pretty. I just can't really get them open with one hand, so I'm not even gonna try. But I have all 6 of these. I have all 4 of the Flower Beauty Lights palettes. So these are 6-pan all shimmer palettes that came out, and Flower Beauty was a brand that was in drugstores. You could also get it through Ulta, Walmart, places like that. It was owned by Drew Barrymore, but it went out of business. But these shimmers are some of the best shimmers that I have in my entire collection. They're just gorgeous. They have amazing payoff. And if you can find these palettes, especially on clearance, I would highly recommend them, but I really enjoy this whole palette series. I have 3 palettes from Singe Beauty. They just announced a new one, which I'm on the fence if I want to get, but Galactic Visitor, Agate Temptation, and Paisley Hoot. The new one's called Succulent Dew, and it's very purple, teal-ish color. So I don't know if I want to get it, but then also, you know, I kind of had those shades, so I don't know if I'm going to get them. I have 3 Unearthly Cosmetics. So here's my thing about Unearthly. It happened to me with this first palette, the Sorcerer's Smoke palette, but then it recently happened with the next 2 palettes, is that Unearthly does pre-orders. You pre-order and it's like, that's it. Like, you can't get your money back. You can't cancel your order. And then they just keep going, oh, it's going to be a couple weeks. Oh, we're going to add another month on. And so, I don't know. I'm not anymore of that pre-order life. Like, if it's not in stock, I don't want no parts of it. But anyway, this is the Sorcerer's Smoke. This is a beautiful grungy palette. It's really pretty. And then Spring Magic and Gargoyle I ordered in October, and I just got in January. So we have Spring Magic. And the thing is that by the time I received them in January, the excitement that I had for getting them dissipated. I was like, oh yeah, these palettes. And no fault of the brand. It's just, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe it is a fault of the brand, but I just don't want to wait that long. And then the Gargoyle palette is going to give you all these cool toned shades. I have 4 palettes here from Sydney Grace. So I have 2 from the seasonal, directional seasonal palette, location palette series. I have Southern Spring. And, you know, I've had this color story in multiple palettes, but I do like this brand, this palette. I have Northern Winter. And I have all these stupid plastic sheets that I need to get rid of. Mountain Trail. So this is kind of what I was talking about with the Yucca palette. Like, I have those greens. Like, is it the same? No, but I have these tones and other palettes. And then Raspberry Kiss. So, I have these. I have another random ColourPop that's right here. The By the Rose palette, which I really like as well. So, I have 2 of the Natasha... Oh my goodness. I have 2 of the Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette, Freedom palettes. So, I actually got the 7 first. I got this during the Sephora sale at the winter of 2025. I wasn't going to get it. I was intrigued. But I am like, I'm not going to pay all the high price for it. So I waited, and then my local Sephora had it during the Sephora sale. So I picked it up in store. And then I really wanted the 6 back when it came out at the end of 2024, and I missed it. And then randomly at some point, like in December, the Nessa Myers website re-released a short amount of this, or small amount of these, and it was just like a hidden gem on their website, and I was able to order it and actually got it. I thought they were going to cancel on me, but I'm very excited to have them. And these are extremely pigmented, colorful eyeshadows. Oh my god. So these are my Nomads. They're not even all of my Nomads. I'm looking at the other side of my table and I'm like, oh my god, there's so many Nomads. And Fantasy Cosmetica. We're almost there. Okay. So I have the Haunted Europe palette. This has a lenticular cover. It's kind of like their Halloween things. Oh, she's scary. This one is the Haunted Europe. Here's that color story. This one is probably, out of all of the palettes that I own in my entire collection, packaging wise, this one's hands down my favorite because it looks like an oil painting and it's very textured and it feels like a painting. It's gorgeous. So this is the Pacific Northwest, This is giving all of those earthy, grungy, like natural tones. I'm here for it. I have Berlin Underground, which I picked up during their 10th anniversary re-release. It's okay. I've worn it a couple times. It's not my favorite. I also have the America's Parks, which I picked up during the re-release. I'm glad I did because I was interested in this when it first came out, but I did not buy it. And so we're talking about the 10th anniversary release, the Fête de France palette. This is another one where I wanted it when it first came out. I love this color story. It's fun. People were saying at the time, like, the quality wasn't that great. They've used their new formula or their revised formula. So people who have tried both say the 10th anniversary is better. So I'm glad I picked it up. We have the Cheminée Presque, which is beautiful, just cool toned, wintry. Oh, love this. So pretty. And then probably my favorite of their summer palettes, I have the Paradise Islands, and I use this palette a lot. Like, it's just one of my favorite palettes in general. I'm really, really in lust with this palette. So this is not going anywhere. Okay. We have maybe the best palette that Nomad has ever released. This is the Ghost Town USA, which was the holiday, like the Halloween release for 2024. Again, lenticular cover. But this color story, oh, this is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know anybody who is into Nomad Cosmetics or Nomad Beauty who doesn't love this palette. Like, this is like universally adored and beloved. I love this palette so much out of my Nomad palettes. I have the Royal Europe palette. Ooh! Am I breaking this cover? I might be breaking this cover. I don't really use it that much because it's like very ornate and rich and like, whew, if you want to make a statement. And a lot of times I want to make a statement, but like, this is gonna make a statement. So I don't really use it this one that much, but like, I'm going to keep it. This is one of the first Nomads I ever had. This is the Cartagena Mexica palette. And this bitch is giving me, oops, sorry. She's giving me all of the summery heat vibes that I want. And I love it. It's a summer in a palette. It really is. So between this, Paradise Island, and Citrus Punch from Simply Posh, summer, done. This is the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palette. Very beautiful. Another palette that I don't really use often just because these are more bold, like, tones than what, and I mean, I wear colorful makeup, but I just haven't really reached for this one a lot. Okay, so this is the Okavango Safari. Has the nice furry cover. And this one is gonna give you those grungy vibes. And so this and other palettes kind of fill the hole that, not the hole, but like, I don't need the Yucca palette because I have palettes like this in my collection. This is the Land of Ice and Fire out of Iceland. This one's really pretty. I don't really use it often, but I'm glad to have it. And then this is another one of the first ones that I ever bought, was the Hudson Valley, because this is giving you autumnal. And so I'm going to shove it down your throat and make it super obvious. But I really enjoy this palette. I have so many palettes around me right now. This palette I actually don't use anymore. It is quite old, but this is the KVD Sinners and Saint palette. And I keep it more just for the memories. This is one of the first colorful palettes that I ever purchased. I distinctly remember I went to Sephora down in Delaware, and it was right after I had a major change in my life, and I had moved back to Pennsylvania, and I just kind of wanted like a fresh start. Also was pretty expensive for me at the time. So I had bought this and the Fenty foundation when like I had just moved back and I didn't have a job, but like I just wanted something that, it was one of those times where like retail therapy was like a thing that was beneficial. It wasn't just like a lip service of like, oh, that's retail therapy or self-care. Like this was a moment for me. And so I don't use this palette anymore, but I do keep it, and it does sit on my desk, my makeup desk, because of more of the memories of freedom essentially that I had at the time when I bought this. It's not necessarily about the palette. It's more just like the moment in time and what this represented in my life. So maybe weird that I say that about an eyeshadow palette, but like truly it was a thing for me. And then probably my favorite brand of eyeshadows. I have 13. Oh my God, 13 of the Cosmic Beauty, formerly known as Cosmic Brushes, eyeshadows. Oh, I also have some Fantasy Cosmetica, which I will go over in a minute, but like, okay, I'm gonna try to make this really fast. The Sinister palette, which came in their Halloween a few years ago. So they have this palette, which, okay, hear me out. I think this palette is cool, and I don't mind this palette. This came out in 2024. And everyone's like, oh, this is such an ugly palette. But, okay, in 2025, if I can find it, oh my God, there's so many palettes here. The end of 2025, they released the Death card palette. So they started a tarot card series. First was the Lovers. Now they have Death. To me, these palettes look very similar. Like, they're not exactly the same, but they're quite similar. And yet people fucking love, excuse me, they love this color story, but they didn't like Sinister. And to me, they're essentially the same with like just minor changes. So I just think how funny people are fickle. They have the Lovers palette, which is this gorgeous muted palette. And what's fun about this one, first of all, it was their first vertical opening like this lineup versus this. But they've also designed this particular palette for anyone that cares. So you could do quads. So you could do like the outer four. And then that middle row kind of marries the quads together. But you could also look at it as in rows, like radiance. So I think they did some really cool things with this palette. And it's beautiful, and I enjoy it. They have Starlight Society, which I haven't really played with that much, but it is very pretty. Again, it's a little more on the deeper jewel tone, but it is very pretty. We have 'Tis the Season, which came out holiday of 2024. This is giving you Christmas cheer extravaganza. One of the palettes that put them on the map in terms of indie brands is their Serenity palette. Very pretty. This is definitely one of the palettes, the palette that caught my eye, and I was like, I need to try this brand back when it first came out. This is the other of the grungy palettes. This is the Undergrowth palette. And again, this is giving you those grungy, greeny browns, chartreusey colors that I don't need the Yucca palette because I have palettes like this, and I would rather have this palette. So it's the Undergrowth palette. One of my favorite palettes in my entire collection, and this took me totally by surprise, is the Winter Wonderland palette. I am a fool for a pastel, lilac, teal, blue eyeshadow look. Like, I totally love it. And so, I mean, I bought this palette and I'm like, oh, I just buy the palette because I like the brand. I want to support the brand. And then I tried it and I was like, this is one of my favorite palettes of my whole entire collection right here. We have the neutrals, which is like warm tone nudes. Very pretty. And then we have the neutrals, which is the cool tone version of neutrals. Very pretty. Love it, love it, love it. We have the Smolder palette. So you want that like more sexy, more smoky eye kind of potential. Get that Smolder. Very pretty. I like it. Delicious Delights, which is just like ridiculously fun. Like, this is giving you candy, this is giving me candy, this is giving me summer, spring. It's just such a fun, colorful palette. And then another one that was one of the first palettes that I bought from them, and I love this palette. This is the Muse palette. This gives me more like spring, but like muted antique spring. I just really, really, really enjoy this palette. I love my Cosmic Beauty palettes. They are my favorite. And then last but not least, we have my Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. So it is a snowstorm outside. I'm sitting in an awkward position, plus I shoveled earlier today, and so I'm not doing myself any favors from filming right now. But this is the end. We've reached the end. But this is the Wizard palette. So you're getting these like blues and yellows. And Fantasy Cosmetic, a lot of their palettes are based off of game classes of character types. Fighter, which is this beautiful neutral palette. Really enjoy this. Let's save this one. We have the Warlock palette. Very pretty. The Ranger palette, which I enjoy very much. Very pretty. The Rogue palette. My fingers. They're giving you, there's some more of those foams, but oops. It's like blues and stuff like that. And then the original, the OG Druid palette. So this is before they went back and they did all the stained glass type of style. But this is the Druid palette. In this palette, it was their first palette. This was their first release. I still contend that this is the best palette that they did. Like, they came out swinging with this palette, and I don't think they've been able to beat their first palette. The other ones are great, but the Druid is where it's at. And this palette holds my favorite shade of eyeshadow in my entire collection, which is that middle shade of shimmer called Serenity. It's just my most coveted shade of eyeshadow in my entire collection is in this palette. So I'm totally happy to end this collection video on that note. So my bed is looking crazy right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up, and I'm going to bag up the ones that I am decluttering. And when I say declutter, I am probably going to offer them to my friends, which is what I've done before, and see if they want them. Sometimes they do. Well, actually, I've only done that once. I've offered them once, and they all went. Like, my friends all claimed them. So I will be offering them to my friends, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, this is my 2026 eyeshadow collection, hastily thrown on my bed, and this is way too much. But now that I am potentially decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could buy 6 more eyeshadow palettes if I want to. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you found any of this, oh my gosh, I forgot my outro. It's been so long since I filmed. Let me think for a second. All right, guys, that's my video. If you found any of this helpful, please think about giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. And until next time, guys, I hope you all stay well. Bye.